Ancient China. The Great Wall and the Rise of the First Emperors. Imagine a wall so vast it snakes across mountains, deserts, and grasslands, visible even from space. Picture an empire forging its identity through philosophy, warfare, and innovation, leaving behind a legacy that shaped not only its own people but the world at large. This is the story of ancient China, a tale of dynasties, wisdom, and military might, where the building of the Great Wall stands as both a symbol of protection and a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Chapter 1. The Warring States and the Birth of an Empire. Before the unification of China, the land was fragmented into competing states, each vying for dominance during the Warring States period, from the 5th to the 3rd century BCE. This era, though marked by constant conflict, also saw a flourishing of intellectual thought. Philosophers like Confucius and Laozi laid the foundations for ideas that would influence China and the world. Confucianism stressed the importance of morality, family loyalty, and tradition, advocating for virtuous rulers. Daoism, attributed to Laozi, emphasized harmony with nature and a more passive approach to governance. Meanwhile, legalism, which called for strict laws and state control, gained favor in this chaotic time. The state of Qin began to rise under ambitious rulers, adopting legalist principles to strengthen their power. The Qin introduced standardized weights, measures, and written script, which facilitated governance and communication across vast territories. As Qin grew in power, it began conquering neighboring states. To protect its expanding borders from nomadic tribes like the Xiongnu, the rulers of Qin saw the need for a grand defensive structure, the Great Wall of China. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, unified the warring states in the year 221 BCE. He saw the Great Wall as essential for the protection of his empire. While earlier states had constructed walls, it was under Qin that they were connected into a continuous barrier. The wall was built by soldiers, peasants, and prisoners under harsh conditions. It wasn't just a physical defense but also a symbol of the emperor's power. The Great Wall became a psychological boundary, marking the edge of the known world. It was built from various materials depending on the region, from wood and earth to brick and stone. Although Qin Shi Huang's reign was short, the Great Wall endured, expanding through later dynasties, such as the Han and Ming. It became a lasting symbol of China's resilience and ambition, one of the greatest engineering feats in human history. Chapter 2. Qin Shi Huang and the Unification of China. In 221 BCE, the ruler of the Qin state, Yingzheng, declared himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. His reign marked the beginning of the Qin dynasty and the unification of the warring states into a single empire. Qin Shi Huang's rule was both revolutionary and ruthless. Determined to prevent any future rebellions, he centralized power, dismantled the feudal system, and relocated noble families to the capital, Shenyang, where he could keep a watchful eye on them. He also commissioned massive infrastructure projects, including an extensive network of roads and canals to facilitate trade and military movement. But perhaps his most ambitious project was the construction of the Great Wall. While various walls had been built by earlier states to defend against northern nomadic tribes, Qin Shi Huang envisioned a unified defense system. He ordered the connection and expansion of these walls, creating a formidable barrier stretching thousands of kilometers across northern China. The construction was grueling, involving hundreds of thousands of laborers, many of whom were conscripted peasants, prisoners, and soldiers. The harsh conditions led to countless deaths, earning the wall the grim nickname the longest cemetery on earth. Interestingly, Qin Shi Huang also sought immortality. Obsessed with the idea of living forever, he commissioned numerous alchemists to create elixirs of life, many of which contained mercury, ironically contributing to his premature death in 210 BCE. But his legacy endured, not only through the Great Wall but also through the Terracotta Army, an astonishing collection of life-sized clay soldiers buried with him to protect him in the afterlife. Chapter 3. The Han Dynasty and the Consolidation of Power. Following Qin Shi Huang's death, the Qin dynasty quickly collapsed under the weight of rebellion and internal strife. In its place rose the Han Dynasty, founded by Liu Bang, a commoner who became Emperor Gaozu of Han. The Han Dynasty, lasting from 206 BCE to 220 CE, is often considered a golden age in Chinese history. The Han rulers sought to stabilize the empire by returning to a more humane and balanced approach to governance, incorporating Confucian ideas that emphasized virtue, morality, and the importance of wise leadership. The era saw the development of state institutions and cultural advancements that would shape China's future for centuries to come. The Han rulers built upon the centralized government established by the Qin but softened its harsh legalist policies by incorporating Confucian principles. The civil service examination system was introduced, allowing talented individuals from all social classes to serve in government positions based on merit rather than birthright. This system not only helped create a more efficient bureaucracy but also laid the foundation for the idea of meritocracy in Chinese society, a concept that would continue to influence Chinese governance for centuries. Confucian scholars became highly influential, and education was promoted throughout the empire. The Great Wall continued to be expanded and reinforced during the Han period, especially as the empire faced threats from the Xiongnu, a confederation of nomadic tribes from the north. These tribes, skilled horsemen and archers, posed a constant threat to China's northern borders. In response, Emperor Wu of Han, ruling from 135 BCE to 91 BCE, launched a series of military campaigns against the Xiongnu, pushing them further away from the empire's frontier. The Han also built new sections of the wall, strengthening the defense system that had been started by the Qin dynasty, but this time, the wall took on a more strategic and defensive role, designed to protect trade routes and the empire's agricultural heartland. Did you know that paper was invented during the Han Dynasty? Kai Lun, a court eunuch, is credited with creating the first form of paper around 100 CE, using mulberry bark, hemp, and old rags. This revolutionary invention would eventually spread across the world, transforming how people recorded and shared knowledge. Before this, writing materials like bamboo slips and silk were used, which were cumbersome and expensive. With the invention of paper, writing became more accessible, and the production of books and scrolls flourished. This had a profound impact on education, literature, and the spread of ideas, both within China and across the world. The Han Dynasty also saw the establishment of the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes that connected China with the Middle East, India, and even the Roman Empire. These routes allowed the exchange of goods like silk, spices, precious metals, and exotic animals, but perhaps even more importantly, they facilitated the exchange of knowledge, technologies, and cultural practices. The movement of people and ideas across the Silk Road helped spread Buddhism from India to China, bringing with it new philosophies, art forms, and religious practices. The Silk Road not only connected civilizations but also played a crucial role in shaping the cultural landscape of the ancient world. In this period of expansion and development, the Han Dynasty cemented its place in history as one of the most influential and prosperous dynasties in China's long and storied past. Chapter 4: Philosophy and Military Innovation. Throughout the early dynasties, philosophy and military strategy were deeply intertwined. Sun Tzu's The Art of War, written during the late spring and autumn period, circa 5th century BCE, became a foundational text in China and globally. His principles of strategy, deception, and adaptability were reflected in the military campaigns of both the Qin and Han dynasties. The Great Wall itself embodied Sun Tzu's philosophy, acting not just as a fortification but as a physical representation of strategic thinking, where subtle tactics often proved most effective. The Great Wall was more than a physical barrier, it was a psychological one. Stretching across harsh terrain, its imposing presence symbolized the strength and unity of the Chinese Empire. Watchtowers and signal fires enabled rapid communication and troop deployment, ensuring the military could respond quickly to threats. The wall's sheer size and fortifications acted as a deterrent to invaders, signaling that the empire was prepared for defense. However, the Great Wall was not entirely impenetrable. The Mongols, for example, bypassed it by bribing guards or finding less defended sections. Still, the wall's true value lay in its ability to delay and disrupt enemy movements, buying crucial time for the military to react and strategize. Beyond its military function, the wall had cultural and political significance. It evolved over several dynasties, from the Warring States period to the Qin and Han Dynasties. Emperor Qin Shi Huang is often credited with unifying and expanding the wall into the massive structure we recognize today. The construction of the wall, involving hundreds of thousands of workers, including soldiers and prisoners, symbolized national unity and resilience. Despite the harsh conditions under which it was built, the wall became a lasting symbol of China's strength and perseverance. Chapter 5: The Enduring Legacy. The fall of the Han Dynasty in 220 CE triggered a period of fragmentation, where the once unified empire fractured into three warring kingdoms, ushering in the chaotic Three Kingdoms period. This era, filled with political intrigue, constant warfare, and shifting alliances, profoundly shaped China's history. Yet even amid the turbulence, the monumental achievements of the Han Dynasty remained. The Great Wall, which had already been initiated by the early emperors, became a symbol not only of China's defense but of its unyielding spirit. Although the wall's construction was later expanded and modified by other dynasties like the Tang, Yuan, and Ming, its purpose and legacy endured through centuries of changing leadership and empires. During these centuries of division and strife, China saw the flourishing of philosophies that would continue to shape its culture for generations. Confucianism, which had gained prominence during the Han Dynasty, continued to dominate the intellectual landscape. The teachings of Confucius, with their emphasis on morality, proper governance, and familial relationships, became the foundation of Chinese education. It also influenced the civil service exams, which for centuries served as a pathway to government positions. This philosophical tradition extended beyond China's borders, influencing neighboring countries like Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. The rise of Confucian thought during this period also saw the flourishing of historical texts, many of which have survived and continue to shape East Asian societies today. As the centuries passed, the Great Wall's role in Chinese history only grew in significance. Though the empire may have been divided and at times weakened, the wall stood as a monument to the resilience of the Chinese people. By the time the Ming dynasty took the reins in the 14th century, the wall had been transformed into its most recognizable form, with towering battlements, watchtowers, and fortifications designed to keep out the invading Mongols. Over 2,000 kilometers of the Great Wall were constructed during the Ming period alone, making it the longest and most formidable version of the structure to ever exist. The Ming emperors poured resources into its completion, demonstrating their commitment to safeguarding their people and culture against foreign invasions. Today, the Great Wall stands as a stunning reminder of the ambition and determination of ancient China. Stretching over 21,000 kilometers across rugged terrain, it remains one of the greatest architectural feats ever accomplished. Designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it attracts millions of visitors each year, drawn not only by its monumental scale but also by its rich historical significance. Though myths persist, such as the popular but false belief that it can be seen from space, the wall's cultural importance remains undeniable. It symbolizes the enduring strength of a civilization that aspired to eternal greatness, despite the many challenges it faced. Whether you are walking along its ancient stones or studying the works of Confucius, you are engaging with the legacy of a civilization that has had an indelible impact on the modern world. The Great Wall and the teachings of Confucius continue to inspire those who seek to understand China's past and its influence on the present. Through its monuments, philosophies, and cultural contributions, ancient China's enduring legacy continues to shape the future, reminding us that history is not just a collection of events but a living, breathing part of the world we inhabit today. And that's it, thanks for watching. If you enjoy exploring historical worlds, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting stories.